Today, in the last 17th and 18th shloka, 17th we have to start today. We will begin with the prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sahagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पुंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनताम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं किञ्च जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथ मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम्। Hare Krishna. So, in our study, we have reached the last leg of the Ishopanishad. I remember reading this one very interesting analogy of how the Ishopanishad shlokas flow. Sorry, this one is done. Not marked it as done. So Ishopanishad, it's like one very senior devotee was explaining. It's like the vision the Upanishad gives. In the beginning, the outermost vision, the first lens which it gives to see the world, is to make us understand how this world is not haphazard, not random, not by chance, but it is a very carefully, well thought, well laid out arrangement by the Lord for our material living and also our elevation to spiritual platform. So that's the first lens which we get in Ishopanishad through Ishavasya principle. Then the next level of Ishopanishad, which we see from mantra 4 to 8, it talks about that vision of, you remember that? Vision of Mahabhagavata, yes. So that is the second one, where it tells about developing spiritual vision. How the jivas and the Lord are qualitatively one. How the Lord is inconceivable. His Vibhu, his inconceivable, and his energies are variegated. And what are his qualities? That section ended with that qualities. You remember some 9 or 11 qualities for that. So that was the second lens which it gives. So suppose in a binocular you have different lenses to focus, is it? Then the next section of Ishopanishad is about absolute and relative in terms of first knowledge and then worship. So then it gives us more granular understanding, little more detailed view. That is about knowledge. What is falsity? What is material? What is spiritual? How one should actually have the right understanding of the knowledge of this world, and how one should actually develop an aspiration to attain spiritual perfection by knowing spiritual truths, spiritual knowledge. That's a second lens. Then the next one is worship. You see how it progresses one by one. Now, so the worship also same: falsity, material, spiritual, temporary, permanent, and then talked about the Sambhuti, the perfect worship. Now it has come to a little more clarity, in the sense that so far the understanding of Lord, which was very vague, like an impersonal, just an existential aspect of the Supreme. Now he has understood by following a guru lifelong, and now he prays to that Supreme Person to reveal the form. That is 15 and 16. Then the next two mantras, they are more, they are at the time of death. The time of death. And there he in fact prays, Ishopanishad goes much more detailed there, right? So it's like a very long binocular vision, The first lens is that second lens. Understand? So it's like that. It goes more and more specific as we approach the last part of Ishopanishad. Anyway, Prabhupada writes at the end of the mantra 18 one very nice statement about the whole book. You will see that at the end. Now, last time we did begin mantra 15 and we completed also. We completed 16 also. 17th we have to begin. So mantra 15 and 16, any of you recollect what were some salient or interesting points?
Rupa. In this sloka, the devotee asked Lord to show his Rupa, removing the curtain of Brahma Jyoti.
Yes. So he's asking the Lord to show his Rupa. Correct. Anything more want to add? Bhakti is ultimate. Can you give a little, how do we understand from that shloka?
In the sense that Krishna is an a form, and there are multiple groups that he may be more mean and he is not in Krishna. And among all other yoga,
okay. We also saw the gradation, no? What all gradation we saw? Recollect? What all different paths, and then we saw the gradation. What do we understand by each of them? Remember that? It started with Sankhya. Tell. Sankhya, Jnana, Yoga, Bhakti. So what do we understand by each? And that whole description, Prabhupada says, at the end, Bhakti is ultimate, true. How he establishes it.
And
Yes.
I think he gives an example of saying that you have to take a ticket of like if you want to go to Kolkata, you have to take a ticket to Kolkata, not to Mumbai.
Okay.
So in a sense, so that's what I understand. Since like if your main purpose is to fulfill the Supreme Personality of God, then Bhakti is the only way where you can use.
Okay.
This is what
the ticket example was for another context, to show that how all paths don't lead to the same goal. Let's be clear about the context. Prabhupada gives that example. Now here we were seeing about Sankhya, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Any of you want to add what I just know how Bhakti is ultimate? He told a very interesting point.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Pooja Mataji. Yeah.
In the initial stage, only 24 elements were considered.
That
is the Sat feature. That is
That is Sat feature.
Sat Chit Anand is the thing na, that is the Sat feature when Gyanis are there. Then Chit features when the yogis can perceive. And Anand feature, the bliss feature, that is Bhagwan.
Wow.
So beyond the 24 elements, there is
Hmm.
Atma and then there is Paramatma.
Hmm.
And beyond that, there is the personal form of the Lord, which is only perceived by the devotees.
Very nice. Yes. So Sankhya, as Mataji told, it talks about the 24 elements, which are all material. There is nothing of Sat Chit and Ananda in there. Huh? So Sankhya is nothing but understanding about this world in its most fundamental blocks. Huh? Analysis, it's called. Huh? So that only makes us understand how this world, which is miserable by very nature, when we become detached from it, we don't suffer. So the whole purpose of Sankhya is to develop detachment. Huh? Now the second step, jnana, is the first step in it gives understanding of Brahma, Brahma Jyoti. Brahma means here Brahma Jyoti. That is Sat feature. Then the path of yoga, which is Sat and Chit. There one begins to understand the personal aspect of the Lord, personal aspect of the Supreme Truth, which is all pervading, yet Sat and Chit both. He is all knowing. And the bhakti, that's the complete understanding, Sat Chit and Ananda. And when one attains the stage of Bhagavan realization, he understands all the others below. This we had seen. Yeah, and then we also saw the different types of Paramatma. Who remembers the very Paramatma?
Karunodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, Karunodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu.
Shirodakshai Vishnu. The three Vishnus are actually the Paramatmas. So Mahavishnu is the Paramatma of entire, not just universe, existence, material existence, which has many, many universes. Is it not? And then for one universe, the Paramatma is Garbhodaksha. And within the universe, in every atom, between the atom also, another third Paramatma, that's third Purusha avatar is called. That is Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And all that, in fact, in the mantra number 15, you remember this, that Prabhupada shows by the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita that how Brahman and Paramatma actually are founded or are dependent on Bhagavan. Brahmano hi pratishtha aham. Ekamshena sthito jagat. There are very exact shlokas Prabhupada quotes. They are very, very helpful to understand this. Even for your shloka open book question also, there are many points here. In mantra 15, very clearly the shloka itself says, Mukham. And the translation you can also quote as an evidence. And there are many, many evidences in the purport. And in mantra 16 also there is one more word, Rupam. So these words are very clearly indicative of the personal aspect of the Lord, which is the supreme aspect. Then we saw in mantra 16 is continuation, the word Soham Asmi, which means qualitative oneness. That is more described. Okay, so today we enter mantra number 17. Oh, we saw this anyway. Yeah. Mantra 17 we had begun. I think we did the first two. To open the, sorry, just a minute. Okay. Yeah. So mantra 17, let's see the shloka once in translation and then we go ahead. Together. Vayur anilam amrutam athedam bhasmantam shariram Om krato smara kritam smara krato smara kritam smara. Prabhu, Madhavajan translation.
Let this temporary body be burned to ashes, and let the air of life be merged with the totality of air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices, and because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I have done for you.
For you. So it's very clear that it's a point of leaving the body. The one who prays this is saying, let my body become ashes. Let the air inside merge into the universal air. Oh Lord, please remember my activities. Please remember the devotional service I did, sacrifices I did. Like that he's praying. So you see this the time of death is an important subject of discussion in our Shastra. In Bhagavad Gita, there is one full chapter dedicated on it. Any of you know which one? About the time of death. 8. Chapter number 8. Prabhupada titles it as Attaining the Supreme. Chapter number 8. Chapter number 8, Krishna is asked by Arjuna some 7 questions. 7 or 6. Kim Brahma, Kim Adhyatma, Swabhava, many like that. Adhiyajna, Adhibhuta, all that. And the last one is Prayana Kala. Prayana Kala means the Atma's Prayana Kala. Atma's leaving the body and moving to other body. Tell me about it. Like that Arjuna asked the question. Krishna answers the first few terminology definitions very quickly, and the whole chapter is dedicated about the time of death. That famous shlokas, Yam Yam Vapi, all that shloka about you will come to me if you remember me, all that Krishna says. That chapter number 8. And Bhagavata Purana is main driving question is this only. What should be the duty of a person about to die? Is it not? So death is a very important event. The event, according to materialists, is the end of all. But for a devotee, it's an important event for transition. Is it not? So I just want to hear, because we keep hearing right from the very first session about death. What do you remember or heard about death? Any of you?
Death is the highest fear we have.
Death is the highest fear. Correct. Yes.
Inevitable. Death is inevitable.
Death is inevitable. Death is highest fear. What? It's the change of body. An intelligent person will not become bewildered by death. That's the point. Yes, anything more? Death is inevitable. Death is most fearful.
Death is the most neglected also.
Most neglected. How much?
That emeralds. Even though everyone is dying.
Yeah, correct. But a person doesn't think about death, that he will also die. This is a very amazing potency of material illusory energy, that I will live for long. There are 2 types of illusion. One is called the illusion of eternity, thinking that this world will be like this long. And then another illusion called as illusion of happiness, Vaikuntha Brahma, Ananda Brahma, that's called. So the point is, the jiva always thinks the same situation I am in will stay like this for long, forever like that. But there is nothing like forever here. So that's the most surprising thing, that though everyone is dying around, person thinks that he will not die. Yeah. And the solution for death, what is it? We all heard. Uh, to remember Krishna. Ante Narayana Smriti, very good. Yes, that's a Bhagavatam's solution at the time of death. Remember Narayana. Yeah. We'll
Hare
see.
Krishna Prabhuji. In
Yeah.
another shloka, Lord Krishna says that यदि वातादि दोषेण मद्भक्ता न च स्मरामि aham smarami madbhakto naimem paramam gatim. Like whenever my devotee, because of the katta, tap and all, because of that pain, he can't remember me. I
Yeah.
himself manifest and make him remember me.
Yes. This will come in today's discussion. This is a very famous shloka from a Purana. This is an assurance by the Supreme Lord to a devotee. The devotee is always unsure whether will he be able to remember Krishna at the time. How will he die? So uncertain is it. So today we'll see that. Prabhu brought a very nice shloka. Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else want to add about on this death, subject of death? Which usually people don't want to discuss. Why are you discussing about death? Such a inauspicious thing. Is there no better subject?
It is said na Prabhu, bhajan kare, sadhan kare, martiya jaan le hoy. It's like
Very
the
good.
final examination, and life is the preparation
Yes.
for that examination.
One may do anything in the day, in the life. Actual exam, actual test of a person's spiritual life is the time of death. All pretense, all everything, actual thing of testing will happen at the time. Bhajan kare, sadhan kare, marte janbe hoy. How much bhajan, how much sadhana he has done. Has it done really with the heart, or was it done to show? It will all be gauged at the time of death. True. Let's see. We'll go to read some of the Srila Prabhupada statements. So last time we did see about how this body, because the shloka clearly says that he's seeing the body as a third person now. Is it not? Let my body be burned to ashes. Let my air get merged into the universe. That means he is seeing distinct from body. So Prabhupada takes this opportunity to tell us that we are essentially soul. And this body is like a dress. So Prabhupada does talks about how there are so many forms according to the desires. A person takes to the forms, and the most evolved form is human form. Why, that is also described, and how in the human form a person may elevate by different spiritual processes, different types of leaving the body. The path of Shak Chakra yoga, Kundalini is another name for it. That is also talked. Prabhupada talks about yogis generally study how to control the airs of the body. The soul is supposed to rise from one circle to another. That's called chakra. From Mooladhara to Brahmarandhra, or Sahasra Kamala, like that. So Prabhupada talks about that. So that's the yogic method of deciding the time of death and elevating his consciousness. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 8, Krishna talks about two ways of leaving the body. You may read them. I will not go exactly to the shloka. One is called Shukla Gati, another is called Krishna Gati. It tells that the person who leaves the body in the Uttarayana, have you heard this? In the daytime, in the influence of fire or sun, many. Uttarayana, Shanmasa, like that. There are verses. He will actually, and if you remember what happens to him, a yogi who lives at that time, he can actually transcend this world. And for a person in Krishna, that's called Shukla Gati. That's the Shukla means white. Shukla. And then there is another called Krishna Gati. That's the black. Krishna color black. Krishna Gati. There it's told Dakshinayana in the time of night. There are different aspects. They are actually very clear factors which determine the carriage of soul. These are all not just the times, they are also personalities. There is a personality governing Uttarayana, there is a personality governing the time of day, fire. Like this, there are different personalities, and they carry the soul ahead. You understand? Like a baton is transferred, no? Like that. So, for a person to actually get liberated, if he chooses this path, that's called, actually, it's also called Archiradi Marga, in different sampradayas. In Sri Sampradaya, it's called Archiradi Marga or Kramamukti, or like that. There is many different. So, that is one path, Shukla Gati. The another path is Krishna Gati, wherein a person who desires material happiness, he also chooses specific times of leaving the body under specific influences. And he will go to abodes like moon or like that, where he will enjoy. This is Shukla Gati and this is Krishna Gati. And there is very nice verse in Bhagavad Gita where it says that a devotee is not worried about these two gatis. He is not pensive or he's not anxious about what time, how he will leave the body and all like that. Why? Because he has let that whole fully under the hands of God. Those who think they on their own strength will want to transcend this world, they decide on this. They are very, very, very keen on setting the right times and like that. That's the path of yoga. So Krishna talks about it very detailedly in that chapter number 8. You can go through that. At the end, he says this, that for my devotee, there is no need to worry on this Shukla and Krishna. He just spends the life in my remembrance. So Krishna talks about a lot about remembrance there. What is that famous verse in 8th chapter? 8.45.7, I think. Of course, this is Yam Vapis before that. Because the next shloka after that is very interesting. Okay, let's read. So this is chapter number 8. So you can see here, there is a verse which has come about how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of? This is a clear question by. He asked many questions in first shloka. Also, some questions are there. Second, like a Kim Brahma, Kim Tad, Kim Tad Brahma, Kim Adhyatma, Kim Karma Purusha. So the last question of them is about time of death. And in answer, Krishna tells in 2 shlokas quickly about whatever the first 6 questions very quickly. But the whole chapter he dedicates to describe about the time of death. This is the famous one. Don't you remember now? Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. I have shown this screen. Okay, it's there on this. Okay. So here Krishna is speaking it very clearly. At the time of Anta, who remembers me, smaran mam eva, only me, kalevaram muktva, leaving the kalevara, that is this body, yah prayati sa madbhavam, he will come to me. On this, there is no doubt, samshaya. And then after this, he tells the generic principle, yam yam vami. He tells, okay, if anyone wants to go anywhere, he needs to really, remember about it at the time of death. Now, this is very clear. Okay, at the time of death, one should do this. Now, how will one control what he will do at the time of death? Krishna tells that in the next shloka. You see what he says. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Not that antakala. Antakala is an important point. But what he says, tasmat. Therefore, what you should do? Sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. At all the times, before antakal, whatever time one has, he has to do what? Anusmara mam. Remember, cultivate my fond remembrance. Yudhyacha. The duties for Arjuna, it was Yuddha. For us, there are many, many duties, right? Mayarpita mano buddhir mame vaishyasi asamshaya. So one should actually cultivate the remembrance in the time, all the time. That should be the mode of one's life. Prabhupada tells one should mold his life such that one is able to remember Krishna all the time. He makes this statement very nice. And then, of course, Krishna tells this should be abhyas. I am telling is the flow is very important. How Krishna answered and then how he brought it to application, and he told it should be cultivation, it should be a practice. Right from in the morning when we get up from our beddings, chant the name of Krishna, thank Krishna. Today you are giving me a day to use my existence and service. Remember Krishna, remember Guru. And then when we go to get fresh up, then always chant the name of Krishna. That's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. Krishna, Krishna. So one should actually not waste time even in the daily chores. One should chant the names of Krishna. That's the best way to remember Krishna, is it not? That's the easiest and the best way to remember Krishna. And then we dedicate a time for remembering Krishna by chanting. That's the sadhana. And then even in the day, whatever we do it to facilitate our remembrance. Even though we are doing the duties, it is only with the purpose to make us develop remembrance in a consistent way. And at the end of the day, we again very exclusively remember Krishna. So our day should be from the beginning up till the time we go to bed. It should be very carefully molded to remember. Abhyasa yoga yukte. That should be the abhyasa. Like that Krishna is speaking here. So the time of death, the answer which is given is to remember Krishna, cultivate the remembrance of Krishna. Tasmat sarve, it will come in a Tasmat bharata sarva, that shloka. So the path, the method of yoga is to very carefully control one's vayu, one's senses and all, so that he can raise the energy, the soul's energy, to the specific, it leave the body, to be sure that it will go to the desired destination. Anyway, Prabhupada does talk about how the best perfection of human life is Bahunam Janmanamanti Jnanavan Mam. The most perfect man surrenders unto the Lord after many, many lifetimes of culturing knowledge. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. I think we had done this much and stopped here. Can you read this last paragraph? The desire for Lordship.
Even disease of the living for others, full of sins and joy. He transmigrates through the various bodies manifested in the waking instant, coming one with the privilege of it does not represent mature knowledge only by surrendering onto the Lord completely and developing one's sense of spiritual service. Does one reach the highest perfection stage?
So one should actually use his free will, use his time and energy to cultivate the surrender slowly, and develop a sense of spiritual service. It's very important. Other paths don't have the sense of service. It's a very distinct feature in the path of bhakti. When we say service, it means there is someone superior to us. We live to please them, follow them, obey them. Is it not? So that mood is very important in the path of. Even while doing our sadhana program, we should not think that our sadhana will make us perfect. Our sadhana will be an expression of our desire to seek mercy of Krishna. Ultimately, what delivers or what helps us progress is mercy of Krishna. Is it? But our sadhana is an expression of how much we really want to come to Krishna, serve Krishna. Is it not? We can't just say, I really want to come to you, and then we do nothing about it. That's not really sincerity in desire. Sincerity of purpose, it is called. We really want to, we have a purpose that we want to go to Krishna. But if we have that purpose, we should show sincerity to Krishna. Right? So that should be the method of following of even the principles of bhakti also. Sometimes we may follow the path of bhakti in a mode of jnana or karma. If I do this, I will get this. That's called karma. Like jnana is to just get rid of this miserable world. That's called a method of jnana. And doing everything on our strength. No, that's all outside bhakti. So Prabhupada is telling, by surrendering unto Lord completely and developing one sense of spiritual service, does one reach the highest perfection stage. So from here, Prabhupada talks about the importance of last thought. So last thought determines our next life. So Prabhupada will talk about that specifically, time of leaving the body. Mataji, would you like to?
His material body and material being, the devotee prays to the Lord to remember his activities and the sacrifices he has performed before his material body is turned into ashes. He makes this prayer at the time
with full
consciousness of his past deeds. Of the ultimate growth, one is completely under the rule of material nature, remembers that he is activities he performed.
Yeah, during the existence.
Material body. Consequently, he gets the material body.
After death. So, you remember the translation of this verse. Oh Lord, please remember what I did. It's a very strange prayer actually. You don't see prayer like this in Bhagavad Gita, surely in Bhagavatam, you don't see like that. It's a very unlikely prayer he's making. So Prabhupada will comment on it, why he does that. But the devotee here, he is praying that, oh Lord, please remember my activities and what I did at the time of death. So he has understanding about the Lord. He has an understanding of what he wants to attain. Especially it is told here, he remembers the heinous activity. How I used my free will, my time, my energy in the wrong ways. How I wasted such precious opportunities. So he is feeling very remorseful. And he is actually, in that remorse, he is praying. Let's see what else is the explanation. So this shloka is coming in the 8th chapter, right? So Prabhupada quotes that saying, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. So whatever bhava or smarana one has at the time of ante kalevaram tyajati, that he will attain. Tam eva iti. He will attain that. Bhava bhavita. Without fail. Sada tad bhavam. Yeah, read this. Unlike.
The time human being can activities of his life.
This is interesting. How animals leave body and how humans leave body. Animals are so absorbed in their immediate present of their existence. And they can't choose to remember something over something else. And they can't train their remembrance. The body is hardwired actually to just focus on the bodily necessities. That's how animals' existence is. You can't train an animal for spiritual life. Prabhupada says animals don't gather for hearing. They don't resolve to do some spiritual activities. There are some special cases. We are not saying it's not possible. They are very special cases. But here it is told that it's only possible for a human. So the dying human being can remember the activities of his life like dreams. In Bhagavatam, the whole Kapila Shiksha, third canto, Prabhupada has translated it as teachings of Lord Kapila. There he gave the major important teachings actually. If you go to Bhagavatam, there is from 25th up till 33, so something like 8-9 chapters describe the instructions of Kapila to Mother Devavati. In that, after he tells about Bhakti, the Sangha of Vaishnavas, the Sangha of materialists and all, later much of the remaining thing is dedicated about how a conditioned soul, what is his journey? When he is living, what are all the aspects he gets indulged into, he gets absorbed into. And at the time of death, when he becomes old, what all he faces. At the time of death, what he faces. And after death, what he faces. Even to the extent of how he is dragged by Yamadutas. And how there a little about suffering is told, but more is told in 5th canto, about 28 hells. After that, then it is described about how he goes into the womb. His prayers in the womb. This whole journey of a Jivatma is described. And then when he is born, again he is covered. What only gets explained. So Kapila goes on to very great detail describing all this. If you really want to understand how a Jiva becomes absorbed in material consciousness step after step, you can read them. Very nice. Third canto, 25th chapter onwards is the teachings of Kapila. 25th, 26th, and up till 30th, that whole end of the canto, till the end of canto is Kapila Siksha. And especially chapters like 30, 31, 32, they are called movements of living entities, and many like that. It's really starking, my God. Threadbare conditioned life, what all traps, what all kind of wrong thinkings, all that comes up very nicely. So you can read that, how a Jiva remembers how he becomes helpless at the time of old age. Even if at the time of death. Can you read? Okay, from here. Read this whole thing. Therefore, his mind. So, if a person has material desire, he cannot enter spiritual body or he cannot attain a spiritual destination. See that words Prabhupada used. If he is surcharged with material desires, he cannot enter to spiritual kingdom. Now, on the contrast, devotees, they develop spiritual desires because they have a sense of love for Supreme Lord. Now, even if, continue. Now here it becomes very clear. What is the explanation of our acharyas for a prayer like this? A prayer wherein a devotee seems to remind the Lord, don't forget what I did. So what is told here? Even if there is no such reminder, Lord will not forget the service rendered by his people. So the point here is, any service done by the Lord, by the devotee is never unnoticed. Nothing goes unnoticed in the whole creation, especially from the eyes of Lord. Sometimes the people whom we work for, whom we are related to, we want them to see what we are doing. They may not see. Even if they are in front, they will not see sometimes. But Lord is always, as a Paramatma is always seeing, but for a devotee he is seeing as benevolent Lord. So nothing goes unnoticed. Even the minutest service is noticed by the Lord. So there is no need to remind the Lord of devotee side. So the prayer here that, oh Lord, please remember what I did. This is explained in two ways. Okay? One way is this prayer is not in its mature stage. Understand? Like it's not a pure devotional service. It's not a prayer done with the perfect understanding and conviction that Lord knows whatever I did. It's not that level of prayer. Like in Bhagavatam also, sometimes you will see Devatas praying, some people with the material desires praying. Their prayers, though they appear in Bhagavatam, they are not the highest prayers. Like Narasimhadev, when he appears, there are many people who pray before Prahalada. Is it not? So if you see, they say, oh Lord, thank you, you gave us the share of our yajna. This Hiranyakashipu was taking it. Thank you, you gave us our rightful place to enjoy. All their whole prayers are all in that. So they are not the highest prayers, is it not? So here also, though this is a prayer which has come in an Upanishad, is this the highest understanding of the Supreme Lord? No. That is one way to understand this prayer. Now the second way to understand is very interesting. It's told in another place by some other Acharya. What it says is the devotee in humility prays to Lord like. You know, that came now. I did so many heinous activities. I misused. I wasted the opportunities, oh Lord, you gave me. I don't know, something I did. If there is something value in it, please remember and give me some better opportunity. So it's in the mood of humility. So there are two ways to see this one prayer. Prabhupada tells us that by the understanding, by the criteria of understanding, there is no need to give such reminder to the Lord that please remember what I did. Lord knows it. In fact, see, this is a very interesting aspect which will come, you will study this in the rest of this Bhakti Shastri course. That in the path of bhakti, the connection between a devotee and Lord is not destroyed or impeded by time. That means, say, death separates jiva from this body. Even if one happens to fall into some wrong body, still the relationship the jiva had with the Lord is never lost. There are many examples like that. Suppose a person became a deer or an elephant. Understand? There are examples you may remember. So the connection with the Lord, the relationship with the Lord is never lost. Even to the extent that there is some accidental misbehavior from the side of a devotee. That also will not break the relationship, impede the relationship between Lord and devotee. Krishna goes on to say in some very starking shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada quotes them. You will read them. You will study it in more depth when you study Bhagavad Gita. But it is important to understand that the Lord never forgets. It has its told here. Forgets the service of it. There is nothing that can break the relationship between Lord and devotee. Now, when we say this, of course, you may recollect Prabhuji Aparad. Aparad. Yeah, that is one very special consideration. No matter of sin, no amount of sin, no amount of material contamination, bad association, no amount of unfortunate situations can actually break the relationship. Why this is important? Because in the other paths, this is very, very important consideration. There are very clear prerequisites of when can you perfect in the path of karma, when can you perfect in the path of jnana, when can you perfect in the path of yoga. But for the path of bhakti, it is not determined by material consideration. to the extent that something very seemingly wrong in an ethical sense also will not break the relationship. So Prabhupada says, quoting shlokas, can you read this? The Lord clearly describes. So we will not discuss on this. We will just read through it. I told the principle. I hope you got it. Read through it. Continue. The Lord clearly. So this is, the chapter is called most confidential knowledge. This is the most confidential knowledge. Krishna tells at the very end of that chapter that how much he loves his devotee, how much he favors, protects, guides his devotee. Read, even if
one commits the most period, then definitely want the love is to be flexible, because he is properly situated in the conversation. He becomes a right, he is as a place, last thing. It's enough to be. He can worthy of my devotee never
perishes.
Who's enough? Those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary, miserable world, engage in loving service community. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisance to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely will come.
That famous shloka from Apichet Suduracharo up till Manmana Bhagamadbhakto, 9 chapter 5 shlokas these are. So declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So one should take to this principle, and actually he should feel this is not a principle to take advantage of for living anyhow and anyway. Not like that. It is to make us understand how much Lord considers a devotee so dear. So he feels the weight of responsibility. Sometimes a person may misuse this kind of a statement. So Prabhupada warns that. That's why it tells accidental committing of sin. Krishna will, but an intentional, one should not intentionally do such wrong activity and tell that, anyway, devotional service will ward off all that. No. So Prabhupada goes on to describe what it means. How can a person in the path of devotional service commit abominable activities? Sudurachara. So Prabhupada says, I will read it from this thing. So one should regard a devotee of Krishna to be on the right path of the saints, even though such a devotee may seem to be Sudurachara, a person of loose character. Now here Prabhupada says, how can a person in the path of bhakti fall into such bad? He took it in a right faith, good faith, and then how did he fall into such bad action? Did any of you attend that seminar we had recently from Balaram Shakti Prabhu? Swabhav and Shraddha? It makes a lot of sense here. So Shraddha, which is the faith, Abhilash, am I right? And Swabhava, which is Anartha, very good. So they are because of one's association being in this world. Conditioning, correct, all that. So a person may have established himself in the faith, right faith, because of associating with Guru, Shastra, all that. But his Swabhava is still not purified. Due to which he will sometime face this tug of war. That he showed tug of war. Shraddha, Swabhava, tug of war. So Prabhupada describes here, let's see, this is actually told by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Prabhupada says it, quoting him. A conditioned soul has to act for double functions. One for body, another for self-realization. So what does it mean for body? social status, mental development, cleanliness, austerity, nourishment, struggle for existence, all for maintenance of body. Now, self-realization, what does that include? As a devotee of Lord, whatever activity he does as a devotee. And one performs actions in that connection also. So there are these two clear active types of activity, for body and for Krishna or for soul. No? So these are running like parallel lines. See here, they are running like parallel lines. A conditioned soul cannot give up the maintenance of his body. The proportion of activities for the maintenance of body decreases, however, in proportion to the increase in devotional service. Is it clear? Now, very interesting point comes. Sometimes they may come in opposition. And that opposition, when they come in contradiction, opposing each other, then if the strength of devotional service has not come to some certain point of maturity or strength, then there is always a chance of succumbing to the other. Like in Bible, it's told, the spirit is strong, but the flesh is weak. No, so opposite. Something like that, he says. Means basically he's telling spirit and flesh. You understand? And he speaks like that. So this understanding is there that sometimes there are situations a person succumb to. Though he doesn't want, like Krishna says, anichan api varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. What is it that forces a person against his intention also? So it happens like that. So for that, Prabhupada describes this. Can you read this? As long as the proportion. Can you read this?
As long as the devotional service does not come to the right point, there is a chance for an occasional exhibition of.
So can someone tell what is this right point? You know some things on this. We will study that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu more detail. But what is that right point?
Is it Nishta?
It's crossed Anartha Nivritti, or that attained Nishtha. So, what is that? Naishtiki Nityam Bhagavata. We say now, what is that? How does it begin? Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. That word. So, the right point is that after Anartha Nivritti. Yes, but it should be noted.
Only right. If one is on the right path, even an occasional appearance of worldliness does not hamper one in advancement of separation.
So this is important actually to understand. What is the right solution for a person who is falling? What's the solution? Devotional service only is the solution. If he becomes demotivated and he says, oh, I can't make it, then what is the respite for him? What is the way out for him? What is the other way for it? No other way actually. So with this faith and conviction, a person should actually take to that path with more sincerity. A child who falls to ground has to take support of that same ground and rise above. Bhumau skarita padanam bhumam eva. There is a word like that. I forget the exact lines. So the point is he has to take support of that and then rise above. So the only method which can purify and rise that jiva is the devotional service. And there could be such occasional, double quote, worldliness, which may come, but that does not hamper, even an occasional occurrence of worldliness does not hamper one in the advancement of self. So one should never become so hopeless. So this is a very important aspect of bhakti, that one should never lose hope. In bhakti later, this will come in Nectar of Devotion also, that a devotee always is hopeful. That because Lord is Samartha, he is Bhaktavatsala, he is Vadanya, he is Kritagnya. These four qualities are told in Chaitanya. Because he is affectionate to his devotee, he is fully capable to deliver a devotee, he is never forgetful of even a minutest thing one has done, and is very merciful. So a devotee should actually have very strong understanding and uh, appreciation for the qualities of God. And he should continue the path of. Yes, I am falling, but what I can do? I have to get up and continue the path. So one should actually nourish one's faith, Shraddha. Coming to that seminar terminology. Swabhava will keep troubling us, but we should focus on Shraddha, and as Shraddha becomes strong and strong and strong, Swabhava becomes purified. So one should never lose hope. And very interesting, this one statement. The facilities of devotional service are denied for impersonals. This is not the case in other path. In other path, the Lord will not give such a the path itself will not allow such kind of behavior. Yeah, and you will have to do a lot to come back to that strength of maturity. So this kind of facility is denied for impersonals. They are attached to Brahma Jyoti. So Prabhupada quotes the 12th chapter. Klesho adhikatarah tesham yishnu. So many kleshas are there in their path. The path of Nirakara, Avyakta Chetasa, Avyakta Asakta Chetasam, Avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavatbhir avapyat. What they want to attain is so difficult, and their path is laid out with so many difficulties. And for a conditioned soul, it's practically impossible. Dehavatbhir avapyat. On the other hand, tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsarasa. For my devotee, I myself come and deliver like that. So Krishna clearly contrasts the path, the chapter called Bhakti Yoga, 12th chapter. It also shows the path of Bhakti as the supreme. Now, that Bhakti, the path of Bhakti, that has very clearly 9 activities. Prabhupada describes them, very famous 9 limbs, is it not? Starting from Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, this. And for each of them, there are very clear role models. Have you heard this? One personality showed one path, though they practiced all other paths. It's not that Parikshit only did Shravanam. He did all Archanam, he did Seva, he did all that he did. But he showed how one should actually do Shravanam. That stands out in his life, is it not? So like that, Prabhupada also describes the different examples. So maybe we can all share. So Shravanam, Parikshit. Who else? Okay, what's the next after Shravanam? Glorifying. Kirtanam.
Smaranam. Smaranam.
Puttu Maharaj? Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami for the second one, Kirtanam. Then next, Smaranam, Amrish Maharaj. Amrish did all actually. He is an example for all. It will come properly. Prahlada, yes. Smarana, yes. He could not hear from whom he will hear. There was none to speak to him. He could not do worship. He could not. Just some time back, his guru had spoken. That only kept remembering. Is it not? Such an emblem of remembrance. Then, what's next? Shravana, Smarana, Kirtana, Smarana.
Padasevanam.
Yeah.
Padasevanam.
Anyway. Archanam. Anyone online also can say. Yes. Prithu Maharaj, correct. Archanam specifically by Prithu Maharaj. Actually, he showed it in front of all people. He did elaborate worship to show to the people. And also when saints came, 4 Kumaras come, that time also he shows Archanam. Many wonderful. Okay, Prithu ho gaya. Archanam. Then Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. Padasevanam. Yes, Padasevanam who? Lakshmi ji. She's always in that posture of doing Pada Sevana. Archanam.
Dasyam Prabhu.
Dasyam. Yes, Prabhu, Santosh. Who's? Hanuman. Yes. Then Pada Sevanam ho gaya, Dasyam. Vandanam. Mali Manaja. Of course, he also did. That is for a later one. Akrura, very good. Akrura, how he prayed to Krishna in anticipation, and when he met Krishna, and then after that, later, many times in the life, he was praying. Okay, that is about Vandanam. Sakhyam, Arjuna, yes, Arjuna. Yes, then Atmanivedana, Bali Maharaj. Yes, so these examples are told by Prabhupada in the next part of purport actually. So the path of bhakti is so very glorious, and how it is done by these 9 activities practically, and how we can understand how to do them by seeing the personalities who exemplify those. So there are very clear role models for it. So Prabhupada tells about it. Actually, this whole description of the time of death is a prime subject in the Bhagavatam. Is it not? So Prabhupada says that, you see, the explanation of this mantra and of practically all mantras of Vedanta, these Vedas are told in Vedanta Sutra, which is told in Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam actually is a meeting at the time of death, just before death, is it not? So Prabhupada tells that Maharaj Parikshit and Shukadev, they have question answers, and Parikshit inquired because Shukadev was a great. And what was his first question? His first question was about the duty at the time of death. In reply, very clearly, Shukadev Goswami says one should actually do Shrotavyaha, Kirtitavyaha, Smartavyaha, Shravana Kirtan and Smarana of Bhagavan Ishvara Hari, Sarvatma Hari. So, very clearly, because these 3 are the most important among all the 9, it's told by, in fact, Shravana Kirtan are most important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells this. Among them also, in some aspects, some perspective, Shravana is told. In some perspective, Sankirtana or Kirtana is told. In whatever way, Shravana and Kirtana are most important. So Prabhupada talks about how one should actually not waste one's time in hearing and talking about material aspects, but actually should utilize the time and energy in hearing and talking about Krishna. You see, Prabhupada tells, when there is one very famous purport in 2nd canto, Prabhupada tells, see, in this world, everyone is asking questions and answers. Ask questions. Even a small bird is also asking, where is food? Where is some crow, some dog? Everyone, where can I go here? This, that. Every man is, every woman, everyone is asking questions of them. Is it not? But the questions and answers related to Krishna are of the most highest spiritual value. And Variyane Shate Prashna. That question about Krishna was asked in Bhagavatam. That's why that Prashna is called as Variyan, the best question. So one should actually, intelligent person asks such kind of questions and discusses about answers for such kind of questions. So Prabhupada concludes here, unless one is, this is important. Can you read this? Unless one is a customer.
What can we remain time?
Yeah.
And how can we pray to the Almighty Lord to remember His sacrifice? Sacrifice means denying the interest
of the.
One has to learn this art by employing the senses in service of the Lord. During one's lifetime, one can realize the results of such practice and
time of death. Interesting. At the time of death, one cannot practice. One has to practice it during one's lifetime. And the result of such practice, he will utilize at the time of. Very clear, Prabhupada makes. Prabhupada tells, one of the favorite prayer of Prabhupada was that Mukunda Mala Sutra, Krishna Tvadiya Pada Pankaja Pan. Have you heard this? He says also very nice. Krishna, What can I remember at the time of death when my body has, dislocated? My throat is filled with kapha, vata, pitta, kantha, avarodhana. I can't speak, gur, all that sound. Kantha, avarodhana, varanau kutaste. But now I am living. Let me actually remember you. And of course, devotees don't want to live. But they are telling, now is the time. If there is anything more favorable than my life, that is now. Don't believe the future promise. There is nothing more favorable or most favorable than the present. So one should use the moment, the time, the energy one has, and do not postpone. Yeah? Do not lose out on the most important aspect of life. The aspect. So this is mantra number 17, which is the time of death. What did he pray for?
To remember he's telling to remember the devotee is
Say
telling
again, Prabhu, online.
the devotee is telling Lord to remember what are the devotional things I have done.
Yeah. He is asking Lord to not remember what he did. That's what his prayer is it not? So basically, he is reminding the Lord in this shloka. Oh, of course, we understood. That's not the highest understanding. Prabhupada. Now, in this shloka, mantra 18, it is the same theme taking ahead. He tells, Oh Lord, please remove any obstacles in my path ahead. Huh? And guide me. I will show that this thing again. Where was that? That whole this thing, no? Not now. So see this prayers, this thing, flow. So mantra 17 and 18 are at the time of death. 17 told about reminding the Lord of what one has done. Now 18 will talk about praying for mercy and guidance and removal of obstacles. Okay, so it's the same context of prayers. But before we go, if you have any quick questions, we will take surely questions at the end. But any quick questions or comments? Say again.
It's not easy because you can try on that.
Actually, one's faith should be continuous in all actions. Though one may be working immediately for the current context of body, relationships with respect to body, but one's faith, when we say faith, what determines the faith is what does he want to attain? Abhilasha. Is it not? Abhilasha. What is his aspiration actually? That should be continuous. And slowly, he should try to actually when one values a thing, no, he will give more time. Is it not? When one values a relationship, he will give more time. And when one develops love, he will give, in fact, more time. So it will come eventually. But it's all in the same flow of that faith. We are developing day by day appreciation towards Lord, the path of devotional service, to the Guru, to the Acharyas. Every day should be a day of increasing appreciation. And our goal is to attain that. Today about Lord, I learned something very interesting today. Some quality, some aspects. Today about devotees, I learned. So we should have such kind of increase in our understanding, appreciation, attitude. It should be increased. And our goal is that, yes. Sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhya cha. Krishna told it. The principle is told. Sarveshu kaleshu. Now we understand, yes, because we are in the body, the nature of body is that it becomes, tired. So it needs some forceful rest. But even that rest time also, his faith is continuous. His intention of action, that intentions are continuous. It's not like broken in the sense when I am doing devotional service, I am wanting this. And when I am in sense gratification or with my body, I am doing something very entirely different. And my intentions and my faith is entirely, it's not like that. Are you getting this? So in that sense, the continuity is there in terms of intention, and later it will also develop in terms of action. Like for the advanced devotees like Goswamis and all, it's told how every moment they were Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajana Nandena Mattali Nidrahara Vihara. It's the perfected stage. Avyartha Kalatvam. That's the characteristic of a Bhava Bhakti. Not a moment he will waste. Avyartha Kalatvam. But in the practice of sadhana bhakti, we saw no in that seminar also. Why is sadhana bhakti? At least daily, if not every moment, prati dina, if not prati kshana. Am I right? Satatam. Smartavya satatam. Vishnu. What you told? Anudina anukshana. Yeah, same. Pratidina. Okay. So that should be the cultivation. So Krishna told that only. Tasmat sarveshu he told. And then he told abhyasa. So wherever I am right now, from that stage, I have to go there. How to go? We have to cultivate. Okay. Any other comment or question? Okay. We will see mantra 18 and some more interesting aspects are here. After that, again, we will take up some questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhu, you were telling that in Bhagavad Gita, after so many thing only Jiva goes to the Vaikuntha planet. Is it applicable for the devotees or for any ordinary soul who has not taken to the path of bhakti, Prabhuji?
That is in general for a transcendentalist. For a spiritual practitioner, the different ways of living body, Krishna told in 8th chapter. You can study them. Krishna Gati, Shukla Gati, these are the names Krishna uses in those verses. Okay. For a devotee, Krishna says these considerations are not there.
Okay. Okay,
Sometimes a devotee may live in an accident. They may fall into a coma. I'm just telling you. Now, compared to a yogi who is, not risking any this thing, is living his spiritual life in solitude. A devotee is considered more superior, no? Is it not? And in the activities of spreading the glories of Lord, he risked all this. Prahlad praises such kind of actions, is it not? And even in a situation where such kind of events happen in the life of a devotee, Lord says, I remember that thing. That's what Lord gives the remembrance. That whole statement was for that, to understand. Because it's not the law, it's not the jiva who decides how I live. It's that sense of service, the surrender completely, that statement you read. Okay. Okay. We'll
Thank
go to
you,
mantra.
Prabhu.
Huh? Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Oh yeah. Hare Krishna. Mantra 18, we will do recitation together. Agninaya supataraye asman Vishwani deva vayunani vidvan Yuyodhyasmachuhuranameno Bhuishtham te nama muktim vidhema. So here the Lord is called Agni. This is one name of Lord. Agni is the name of the Supreme Lord. He has given that name to another personality. That's the second thing. Indra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna, these are all the names of Vishnu. Madhvacharya says this. And he has given them to one portfolios. So he is Agni. What Agni does? Huh? Say again, correct? Tell loudly. It's okay. Huh? Yeah. What Agni does?
Burns.
Burn.
It burns.
It burns. And it shows light. Correct, na? So Lord also burns something. Can you guess? Same.
Karmas.
Karma, yes. In that sense, he is Agni. And Agni is also showing us the light. Correct, na? So he takes us ahead. Naya. Naya means the word Nayaka. Nayati in Sanskrit means to take one ahead. Nayaka means one who takes us ahead in the path. Huh? So Naya, Agni, Naya. Oh Agni, you are Agni actually. You burn everything. Yeah? You take us ahead. In what? In Supatha, in the auspicious path. Huh? Raye Asman, please take us ahead. You are Vishwani Deva. You're not just one Vishwas Deva, you are. You are Vishwani Deva. Means all, many Brahmandas Nayaka you are. Akhila Koti Nayaka. Famous word, is it not? Akhila Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. Yes, Nayaka is Brahmanda Koti. And Vayunani Vidwan. You give me the knowledge. You are the Vidwan. Vayunani means one who gives knowledge. Giving knowledge. Vidwan. What knowledge I want? I want to know how to come to you. Krishna gave me that knowledge. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Is it not? And Yuyodhi asmat juhuranam. Yuyodhi means, see the word. Juhuranam means what? Impediment side. Juhuranam. Huh? Hindrance, na? Hindrance. Impediments are. Yuyodhi. Yuyodhi means to destroy. Huh? To get free. You make me free from all that which will stop me in the way. Huh? You destroy all the obstacles. So he told, first you burn something, you show me light, you give me knowledge, and then you, anything which comes ahead, you are capable of. Bhuishtham te nama uktin vidhema. At this moment, the one who prays, our Acharya is described, he becomes so gadgadit. You know? And then he says, I offer you, it's clearly told like this, that he puts his hand upon. I can offer you profuse nama ukti. Nama ukti means nama, pranam. You know? Unlimited. Lot of namaskars. Bhuishtham te nama. It's a very famous praise actually. Bhuishtham te nama uktim. You know? Koti pranam. We say no sometime. That's what it is. Literally he puts his hands above his head and then vidhema. I offer my nama uktim. Namaha. Bhuishtham. Many times. Not just once, twice. It's told that when we go to in front of Lord, one should offer at least 3 times obeisance. Have you heard this? At least 3 times he should do it. It's written in our Vaishnava Siddhachara. Huh? Not once. Once is not so much. At least 3 times. Anyway, I'm not telling that we should start doing it tomorrow onwards 3. Whatever is your temples or your communities. Is fine. What it means is sometimes you see, no, some people have that culture. It's showing a great respect. What qualities you have? Someone from online can read translation? Oh my Lord. Who is reading online?
O my Lord,
Ah.
as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, now I offer you all obeisance falling on the ground at your feet. O my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions to my past sins so that there will be no hindrance to my progress.
There will be no to my progress. Okay. So I think by Shloka's words we saw what the meanings are. Okay. So now in the purport, Prabhupada talks about different aspects of the meanings of the shloka. So what is it that stops a devotee from progressing? Juhuranam, shloka told na, hindrances or obstacles. Prabhupada also talks about some very nice aspect. Mataji, can you keep reading yellow colored highlight? Please read, Mataji.
The Lord is addressed as fire because he can burn anything into ashes, including the sins of the surrendered soul.
So why is Lord called fire? It's told. So essentially, this is the quality which is originally in Lord, and he has empowered a jiva with that quality, and he gave that name Agni. So when we go in front of Agni, when we do anything with Agni, we should remember this quality. Okay, go below as soon. Okay, now here, Prabhupada talks about that in the path of spiritual progress, the first one is Karma Yoga. Karma Kanda is below one. That is not actually called path of spiritual advancement, but it is the beginning, is it not? Karma Kanda, then Karma Yoga. Karma Kanda, one accepts Vedas. Then Karma Yoga is one fixes his goal that he wants to transcend this world. So Prabhupada tells fruitive activities or, from here can you read?
Yes, Prabhupada. Fruitive activities or the Karma Kanda path of self-realization is the lowest stage in this endeavor. As soon as such activities even slightly deviate from the regulative principles of the Vedas, they are transformed into weak karma or acts against the interest of the actor.
Continue.
Such vikarma is enacted by the illusion living entity simply for sense gratification, and thus such activities become hindrance on the path of self-realization.
So what is the hindrance or obstacle? Vikarma. What is vikarma? We had studied no longer.
Actions against the regulation.
Regulations are?
Prohibited activities.
Are not mentioned.
Specific.
For regulative principle.
Against scriptures. When one acts against the scriptures, that is vikarma. So that actually goes against the interest of the actor. So they become the hindrances. So here, actually the jiva is praying that let me not sway away from the path of Shastra, from the path led by you. Papa, or all that, aparadas, even that also can be counted here, vikarma. So the point here is, let me act in my best interest, that is in serving you. Any other activity is called hindrance. So Prabhupada now talks about, okay, in the spiritual path, there is gradual progression, which takes long time, sometime across lifetimes. Bahunam janma, takes long life. It begins by cultivating qualities, good qualities, like Prabhupada tells here. See, the human form qualified by Brahmanical culture presents the only chance to obtain knowledge of transcendence. So that means he starts cultivating qualities like truthfulness, sense control. These are the qualities. And then actually the gradual method says that if one keeps doing the duties of his particular social and spiritual order, Varna and Ashrama, dutifully, then he will gradually ascend. There's a gradual method, Shudra will become higher, like that. And then it takes long, like Prabhupada says about it, one has to really live by such qualities. He stresses on that. But a person who is progressing like that, sometime may have a fall or slip, but Krishna will give him good opportunities in future. Krishna tells it in 6th chapter. He will get birth in good families in future. Shuchi, Shrimata, Kule Bhavati Dhimata, like that. Many like that. So, like this, he needs to keep continuing his cultivation of Brahminical qualities. Here, Brahminical doesn't mean just the caste. Brahmajanati iti Brahman. One who knows the supreme transcendental existence, that he is a Brahman. And Parabrahma, that is Krishna. Is it not? So, in that sense, one needs to develop qualities which will please that Supreme Lord. And that will take many lifetimes. Can you read this? After many lifetimes.
After many lifetimes of cultivating transcendental knowledge, one becomes perfect when he surrenders unto the Lord. This is the general procedure. But one who surrenders at very beginning, as recommended in this mantra, at once surpasses all the preliminary stages simply by adopting the devotional attitude.
So what was actually changing from one level to another was actually attitude. It was getting refined and refined and refined. And after many lifetimes of cultivating knowledge, he surrenders unto the Lord. He develops an attitude to surrender to the Lord. But if one exhibits that attitudinal change now, then he has done. So that's what Prabhupada says here. But one who surrenders at the very beginning, what is the goal? That the jiva ultimately comes to the point of surrender. It's very difficult, though it appears very easy to say and to quote the shloka, to accept the superior position of the Lord and act in one's actions, in mind, in words, in surrender to Lord. So that is what a jiva has to attain at the end. That's the general procedure. For that, Bhavanam Janmanam thing. But when one understands what is to be attained, because he came in touch with a bona fide guru, and he got facilities which can inspire him to take to that attitude. He has very good examples, role models, acharyas, very favorable atmosphere, and he takes to that. That's in fact the best, swiftest path, actually. Is it not? And that's what Krishna tells in 18.66 as Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam. Like that. So Prabhupada describes about that very interestingly, how a devotee, when one attains that stage, he in fact becomes superior to even a non-devotee Brahmana or a sannyasi. Understand? Non-devotee. That's it. A devotee is superior to any material superior position. So Prabhupada talks about that. He can make a man born in a Brahmana family as degraded as a low-born dog eater, and he can also make a low-born dog eater superior to the qualified Brahmana simply on the strength of devotees. Yes. Because that aspect of the Lord surrender, and Lord can make the position how he sees the jiva. Now, how does that Lord help the jiva in guiding? Because another aspect of this shloka is guidance. Show me light and take me ahead in the good path. Naya supatha, that word was there. No? Now, how does Lord guide a jiva ahead? That is described ahead. Can you read, Mataji? Since the omnipotent
Lord is situated within the heart of everyone, he can give directions to his sincere devotees by which they can attain the right path. Such directions are especially offered to the devotee, even if he desires something else.
This is very interesting. So, Lord will give directions to one who is sincere in his practice. This is clear. The second very interesting thing is sometimes Lord will give guidance or directions to a devotee, even if for circumstantial situation he desires something else. He desires something apart from Krishna, but still the Lord will, and it's not good for you. You had desired this earlier. Now for some circumstantial situation you are desiring like this. And you in that foolishness are praying for this. I will not do this. I will not give it. And sometimes the devotee commits something wrong going in that direction. Lord will not punish the way he will treat with a materialist. Very interesting verse comes in the Nimi Navayogendra episode, Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto. Swapada Moolam Bhajataha Priyasya. One who does bhajan of my lotus feet. He is very priya for me. Krishna saying. Tyakta Anya Bhavasya Hari Paresham. Because of taking to something else after that. Vikarma yat cha utpatitam kathanche. On a certain occasion, he does even vikarma. Earlier, you remember what was the obstacle? What was the hindrance? No, earlier. What was the hindrance?
Vedas.
Veda?
Not knowing Vedas.
Vikarma, actions against the Veda. So even if a person commits vikarma, now this is very, very clear. Even if a person commits vikarma, what will Lord do? Dhunoti sarvam hridi sannivishta. Because he had done bhajan earlier with great love and affection, considering Lord Hari as a paresha. But because kathanchit means some certain situation came, because of some force of some situation, he did some vikarma. But Lord will, what will he do? He will himself cleanse that devotee. The devotee need not do any other atonement, anything beside bhakti, he need not do. Lord will himself purify. Because the purifying aspect of all atonement is bhakti only. In all atonements or prayaschitta, there is element of bhakti. That's why there is purification. And what is this devotee doing? Bhakti. So what is the need for him to do any prayaschitta? Leaving the direct devotional service. And Lord will himself purify. See, this translation is very nice. The Lord is so kind to one who is fully surrendered to his lotus feet, that the devotee sometimes, even though he falls into entanglement of vikarma, acts against Vedic directions, Lord at once rectifies such mistakes from within his heart. This is because the devotees are very dear to the Lord. So in this shloka, the devotee is praying in ahead in my life, if there are juhurana, hindrances, vikarma, please destroy them. Actually, that day, Prabhuji also was telling, what does a devotee fear?
Vaishnava Prat. Vaishnava Prat.
Vaishnava Prat, okay.
Getting entanglement in the material things.
Getting entangled in material things.
Fear of
Forgetting the Lord.
Forgetting the Lord. Devotee fears displeasing the Lord. You're all right. Wonderful. Devotee fears what? Displeasing the Lord. The Lord told me, Manmana bhava madbhakto. Always remember me. I'll not be able to remember if I fall into this vikarma. If I do aparadhas, Lord will be very displeased. Is it not? So what does devotee fear? Devotee does not fear any sinful situation or like that. If there is something which will please Lord by doing that sin, Lord is ready to do that sin. Any example? My question is,
Kuvera, Nala Kuvera.
what he did, Prabhu?
They were enjoying in the Kailasha, Prabhuji, through the mercy of Narad Muni. They have got the opportunity to see Lord Gopala, Damodar,
Yeah.
and they have reached the ultimate goal for this.
Yeah.
I think it's
What is the question, Prabhu? Can you tell one?
Sorry, say again.
No, I'm just telling what is the question. I think if I understood it right, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Lord tells him to tell the lie.
Yeah. My question was this only, that the
Okay.
devotee fears displeasing Krishna. Devotee does not fear sin. Devotee fears what? Displeasing Krishna. Because sin displeases Krishna. Sin makes us absorb in matter. And we forget Krishna. And Krishna wants us to remember him because it's in our benefit. Krishna wants us to do bhakti because that is in our benefit. And Krishna is pleased by that. That's why devotee does bhakti. So the main guiding principle in the path of bhakti is what pleases Krishna. Is it not? If you have to put it in simple. And I was telling that a devotee will not mind doing materially sinful activity if it pleases Krishna. Though it's a very unlikely situation.
Gopis example, right?
Gopis.
They wanted to give their dust when Krishna asked for headache. In that,
Putting Krishna's, bare feet dust on Krishna. It's very sinful. No devotee was willing, if you see it. But Gopis, highest devotees were ready to do it. What you told? Yudhishthira. Yes, I was telling Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira, yes. So devotee is ready to do anything for pleasing Krishna. That's the highest principle in the path of bhakti. So here Prabhupada says, read this. I think we are coming to the last part of this purport. In this mantra, read this mantra.
In this mantra of Ishopanishad, the devotee prays to the Lord to rectify him from within his heart.
Prabhupada here describes that, okay, devotee may do something wrong. That's why Lord is praying to Lord, please rectify me. Come to me, bring me to the right understanding, right action and all. So Prabhupada tells everyone does something or other wrong in this world. To err is human. Prabhupada talks about it. Sometimes, unintentional sins are also done, So, but if a devotee is surrendering to the Lord will protect him. And how will the Lord guide a devotee in this world? Read this, such directions.
Such directions are given to the sincere devotee in two ways. One is by way of saints, scriptures, and spiritual master, and the other is by the way of Lord himself, who resides within the heart of everyone.
So this guidance, directions to a devotee are given in two ways. First one is Guru,
Saint, scripture.
Saints, scriptures, and spiritual. Other is by Paramatma.
Lord himself. Paramatma.
Lord himself who resides within the heart. Chaitya Guru he is called. So a devotee is never bereft of guidance. Even if a devotee, actually this is very nice purport you should read, 10.10, Dadami Buddhi Yogantam. Prabhupada tells that even if a devotee is very sincere, he is not able to understand what his Guru is saying, he is not able to understand scripture. Very nice. This clause is made by Prabhupada and then he describes. But he is never out of guidance. because Lord in the heart will give him the guidance. So there Prabhupada tells a person who is 100% engaged in devotional service is the emblem of all knowledge, all guidance. So one who wants to serve Lord always is always guided. Very nice that. Please read that if the very nice aspects they are coming. So here Prabhupada says, okay, the last part of this purport, he says, okay, what does the Supreme Lord want us to do? He wants us to do bhakti for our benefit. He wants us to follow Guru so that we can come closer to him for our benefit. So externally, as Guru he is guiding, as scripture he is guiding, eternally as Paramatma is guiding. So all guide the devotee in full strength. And one who takes this guidance and directions, he is fortunate. It's not that fortunate means randomly chosen. Yes, in the beginning, there is that aspect of unconditional mercy. But after that, one needs to make a conscious choice, cultivate, and live by it. He becomes qualified for further mercy or fortune. So, and that actually is expressed by one engaging in specifically hearing and chanting. Out of the 9 activities, these 2 are the most prime. And Prabhupada translates those very famous verses he wrote in his prayer also. Shrunvatam Svakatah Krishna, Bhagavatam's first canto, 2nd chapter. What happens when a jiva becomes inclined to hear the messages of the Lord? What all
Krishna.
things follow? It's a very famous 5-7 verses actually. Prabhupada translates them. Read this last paragraph. Hearing and chanting.
Hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord is itself an act of piety. The Lord wants everyone to hear and chant His glories because He is the well-wisher of all living entities.
So very interesting. He wants everyone to hear and chant His glories because the well-wisher. It's not a kind of material person wanting to be glorified. Lord wants the jivas to hear about Him, chant Him for their benefit. He is well-wisher of jivas. Continue, Mataji, by hearing.
By hearing and chanting the glories of Lord, one becomes cleansed of all undesirable things, and then one's devotion becomes fixed upon the Lord. At this stage, the devotee acquires the Brahminical qualifications and affects the effects of the lower modes of nature, passion and ignorance, completely vanish. The devotee becomes fully enlightened by the virtue of his devotional service, and thus he becomes to know the path of Lord and the way to attain him. As all doubts diminish, he becomes a pure devotee.
Vidyate hridaya granthi chidyante. So actually, this whole paragraph is summary of those 17 to 20 Prabhupada has given that. Very famous shlokas. These shlokas describe progress from Shraddha to Bhagavad Darshana, Madhuryanubhava, Prema actually. So the point is it begins from hearing actually. And that is accessible for us. It's practicable for us. So like this shloka, the shloka number 18. Yeah. So this shloka number 18, it described about the obstacles. What is the obstacle? In the path of vikarma, is it not? And then if the path is in gradual mode or in swift mode. The essential attitudinal change is surrender. Is it not? That we saw. And how does Lord give directions to his devotees?
The 2 ways.
2 ways,
One
correct. Tell it exactly.
One is from scriptures, Guru, and another from his Chaitya Guru.
Chaitya, Paramatma, Lord within the heart. And Lord, being the supreme well-wisher, Suhrat, he wants us to do his bhakti for our benefit. You know, it's very clearly described that. You want to note it? Okay. So you see the last line, how Prabhupada ends. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose to Ishopanishad. He writes, the knowledge that brings one nearer to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Ishopanishad brings a person from what stage? A person who was so selfish, who was into Vikarma. It told you, come to Ishavasya. And then it brought slowly, step by step to near to Supreme Person Krishna. Though it has not told directly the name of the Supreme Person, but it has brought him to near. Prabhupada often told in this whole description about, you can get more descriptions in Bhakti Shastras like Gita and Bhagavatam, Nectar of Devotion and all. So we are fortunate to know those books and the Acharya's explanations. So in essence, this book, chapter, total of 18 chapters actually, 18 mantras. In the beginning, introduction of Ishopanishad, and then that first mantra, Purnamadaha. Is it not? I told about, am I showing it on screen? Yeah, okay. It told about completeness and many very interesting aspects came there. All sorts of incompleteness. Can you recollect? Tell it. You know, golden statement. Actually. All forms of incompleteness.
Due to the incomplete knowledge of the complete whole.
Are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete whole. Very nice, that statements. So, and then we saw the Ishavasya principle, mantras 1 to 3. And then we saw the vision, how to develop spiritual vision. Mahabhagavata has the highest vision, but we can do Anupashyati, exactly. Right, thank you. Anupashyati, that's the key word in that whole section. Mantras 9 to 14 are about absolute and relative knowledge and verse. 3 verses, falsity, very, very dangerous. Beware, careful. Material, darkness and deeper darkness. Then material, spiritual. Know the difference in results. Then cultivate both, but properly, side by side. The goal should be spiritual, but material also should be cultivated with the goal of spiritual. Then we saw lastly this prayers. Very nice prayers. Prabhupada gives the highest understanding in these prayers. The prayers seem to be very simple. Remember me, O Lord. Take me ahead, burn my sins and all. But the Acharyas like Prabhupada, they always give the purports of pure devotional service. Is it not? So like this, we had this journey. I believe it took 20 sessions as I was counting. It took way longer than we expected. 2 months, May we started. April we started. Means, I think Narsimha Chaturdashi se pehle.
April last week, Prabhu.
April last week. May, June, July, August. No, it's August 22nd. It took almost 3 months. Of course, we had some breaks. Sometimes I was not there. And sometimes we did have very nice Sangha in temple and all. But we have completed these 18 mantras. Now, we have also done open book. We did Shloka test also. And open book, first question is done and second question is, I hope all of you are making it. If you have done, you can show for any pointers if you need, or otherwise you can directly submit. Leela Madhuri Prabhu will tell the details for the next set of assignments, closed book and all. So please don't give too much gap. Keep doing something every weekend. My request to Leela Madhuri Prabhu is that there should be something happening in the course every week. Even if it's going slow, it should be progressive. so that we don't have that break. Once that break comes in, then so many things are become difficult actually. So have that kind of continuity, and then slowly, we are not in a hurry. Let it take time, whatever. We will surely do it soon. But when studying, no, it is told that one should feel that he has all the time at his in front of him. That's how one should study. So when we are studying, let us study it in the best possible way, in the whatever limitations of time and this thing we have. But it's good that we completed the first book. Next book, Karunamurthy Prabhu will decide and tell about the next sessions. I had one important announcement to make, because this was a decision. It's still in making, but it's very important that we also don't become just in the words. We don't just become pandits. We actually should apply them. One of the way to apply is surely in your own personal sadhana, in your own behavior, and in some way serve the devotee community in wherever you are. In that regard, there was very long discussion with His Grace Narahari Chaitanya Prabhu and all. He was urging that devotees who are learning Shastras more, they should bring that devotional environment in the temple by offering services, by offering various ways by which they can increase the consciousness of the entire community, giving their whatever time, a little time. So in any, he was giving an example we were discussing. In any study, there is always something called some practical on-field something. What do they call it?
On-site.
On-site, and like in medical, they have house surgeonship, or some field internship or something. So though this is not a course criteria, but in the interest of everyone's learning, and also as a community, ISKCON South Bangalore, we want to do a small internship. You need to show some service experience rendering at a community. Somebody may be outside here, I understand. So they need to go to the devotee community they are living in and offer some service. They need to show a service. What is something? We are bringing a structure for it, so that our study is never complete without service, is it not? Study becomes only complete when we actually do service and we develop deeper understanding. Of course, I know many of you are serving. I'm not saying that you're not serving, but this is also with respect to our course completion. It's not just some assignments we complete, become relaxed and nice thing to hear, understand. But we should not just hear and appreciate. We should actually share. We should serve. So some ways you can serve in communities where you are, and you please the devotees who are there. Yes, this devotee is wonderful. So that's what we are looking at. Soon there will be some structure brought out. You don't need to worry anything urgently. It will come out. Whatever you're doing, you're going good. Continue doing it. And complete the assignments, whatever the time frames which Prabhu will tell. Thank you very much. If any comments or questions, you can share. And the further assignment and things like that, Leela Madhuri Prabhu will tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, in mantra 15 and 16, in both the mantra, the focus is on exhibiting the personality of Godhead. So no mantra actually repeat itself. Why 15 and 16 are repeating itself? Is it the essence of the book to coming from Purnamada Purna Idam to the actual personality of Godhead?
Mantra 15 and 16 are repeating, you mean to say?
Repeating in the sense, the prayer is for exhibiting yourself to the pure devotee. The prayer is to the Supreme Lord. In both the mantra, the prayer is almost the same.
There is fine difference in them. You're right. Mantra 15 and 16, the essential prayer is, "Oh Lord, show us your darshan." But the way in which a devotee addresses is becoming more refined in Mantra 16, and his understanding also becomes refined. You see, in Mantra 15, he addressed the Lord with the word called Pushan. Am I right? Tattvam Pushan Apavrun. Where is it? Pushan. That's the one word which he used. Of course, Satya is another word. Satyasya apihitam mukha. Pushan. Now, that understanding of Pushan, that same word comes in the next sloka also. Is it not? Pushanne karshe. But here, there is also an understanding of Kalyanatama Rupa. Soham Asmi, that I also become spiritually, qualitatively one with you. So, it is right that the shloka essentially, the two shlokas have essentially same play. But understanding and addressing different qualities of Lord, they are more refined. Okay?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Also, Prabhuji, in one point it is written that the spark which is coming from the Lord's body, the external effulgence, and in second it is written that it is coming from the abode of the Lord. So how to understand it?
Where Mataji? Can you exactly point out?
Prabhuji, in mantra 15, it is written that Srimad perceive as impersonal. Prabhuji, in page number 98, the Brahma Jyoti, which is the glaring effulgence of the transcendental body of Lord Shri Krishna.
It's in the beginning part of the purport. I'm showing on the screen. Can you help us locate?
No, not in the beginning. It is before Yasya Prabha Prabhavato verse. Yes, Prabhuji, here. The culture of this thing.
Empiric philosophy.
Before that, Prabhuji, the culture, yes, Prabhuji.
Which is the glaring effulgence of the transcendental body of Lord Krishna.
Yes.
Okay. So what you are exactly pointing?
This says that it is coming from the body of Lord Shri Krishna. In one mantra, I don't remember just right now. It was saying that it is coming from the abode of Shri Krishna. That is Golok Dham. That
actually the dham is effulgent by itself. Actually, you know that famous shloka in Bhagavad Gita, Natad bhasayate suryo, na shashanko na pavaka, yadgatva. So what does it say? That the dham is self-luminant, does not require luminance from others. So in that aspect, the Lord's dhama is internal energy of the Lord. And here that distinction is made for Brahma Jyoti, that the Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence of the body of Lord Shri Krishna. Now, the dham is dham because of presence of Shri Krishna, the Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Chintamani Prakara Sadma. That dham is self-effulgent. So, in the sense of, like the example of sun is told, the sun globe, the sun planet as such is luminous because of the person Surya Narayana. Of course, Surya Dev, and in his heart, Surya Narayana he is always meditating on. That's why that abode is luminous. Prabhupada does make that in that example of sun and Krishna, sun, sunshine and sun god. Similarly, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. And he's making that distinction. He does tell that the origin of Brahma Jyoti is not just the planet, the spiritual world, but it is actually the person Krishna. In that sense, it is the glare or the effulgence of the body of Lord Sri Krishna. It is just telling the detail in a specific context. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare
Just
Krishna.
telling the detail in a specific, in what context, how it is defined, you have to see. The other context which you are telling, probably what I understand is there that example of sun, sunshine, and that is made. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those who I just want to say because it may take more time. Thank you very much. You had some announcement, Leela Madhuri Prabhu. We will take questions if surely there are any questions.
No. As of now, I don't have announcement. I wanted to ask something based on what we discussed in the class today.
Yeah. I'll just take. So
Yeah.
thank all of you for your participation. Next session description, Karunamurthy Prabhu will post in the group. So next will be closed book test. The date and the timing of it, he will tell. And open book submission, the way you did for the first question, similar way you can do for the second question. Leela Madhuri Prabhu will share the link and all, you can upload. Very quickly, we will try to evaluate it and then give the details. Thank you. So mostly the next book usually is Bhagavad Gita. So it will go faster than this because there are many shlokas and this was first unit, so it went slow. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna, for your patience and for your tolerance. And thank you for putting up with me. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo. Samahapasad. Yes, yes, Prabhu, you want to ask?
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, now we have to pray. Like that devotee is praying for the final exam for Ishopanishad exam. We have to pray.
Exam is the most easiest thing in the course. I again saying, it don't take tension of exam. Take tension of just making through the whole course. Just trying to be consistent in the activities of the course. You don't need to excel in the exam only. You can just try to do with whatever understanding. And these exams are all tests of what you're living. Actually, it's nothing different. We are living. We are practicing. We are just writing some aspects in the paper. Is it not? So that's the most easiest part of the course. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, actually, my question was, it was discussed about continuity, right? You mentioned it is daily. But the word Anushilanam is actually continuous, means Muhu again and again, continuous like that throughout 24 hours, right? So, like, has any Acharya gave a commentary that it can be daily also like that?
Anushilanam. Anu means that word Anu.
Yeah.
It has two meanings. It means to follow. It
Right.
means to keep it continuous.
Yes.
So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu itself, the shloka of Smartavya Satatam Vishnu is quoted just after this definition.
Yeah.
Word Satatam is quoted there.
Okay.
The word Satatam is described by our Acharyas. Literally, it means every moment.
Right.
So our Acharyas also considering that the sadhakas, their situation is not every moment they are able to practice, so that they don't lose faith on that instruction. They also say every day.
Yeah, actually, I had a point here only. Because the example which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, I mean, he has described this as Smartavya Satam Vishnu. He is telling about only Smaran. Smaran is a function of the mind.
Correct.
But in the sadhana bhakti, in the bhakti definition, Shilanam can be through the body, mind, words, right?
Perfect.
It
Yes.
can be chesta and bhava and all that.
Correct.
So it is said that, okay, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving the example of only Smaran, but at other times, one can do with, with the body and the words and like that. So he is not telling ki, okay, once a day if you do it is all right. No. Okay, Smaran can be for some time, but at other times, that has to go on still continuously. This is what I heard,
It should go
in
on.
explanation.
Who's telling it should not go on?
But you said no, it can be once a day also. It is like sufficient. I mean, it can be counted in the practice of pure devotional service, but daily once a day, like that.
That
Daily,
activity of smarana.
it was brought to the word daily, right? But it should not be daily. It should be continuous, right? That was the doubt I have.
So that anu word, satatam,
Yeah.
anu word,
Yeah.
is interpreted in both the ways. Anukshana, anudina.
No,
So
that's what I'm asking. Where this
you are
interpretation
telling that
is?
it's only for the aspect of smarana.
Yes, because he clearly writes in that he only for the and that example which he has given, Smartavya Satatam Vishnu, he has given that example for illustrating the vidhi, how shastras give vidhi, smartavya, shrotavya.
Correct.
That tavya means you
Correct.
must do. So he is giving that example for illustrating how shastras give a vidhi, and from Bhagavatam he is quoting this verse. Yeah, this is a vidhi from the shastra.
Correct.
Yeah, so he is not actually telling ki this is actually applicable to Anushilanam. He's just telling only one is for Vidhi he is giving, and another is he is telling for Smaran, okay, it may not be possible 24 hours Smaran, okay, but for some time. But other things also can happen, and that's how it is still it has to be continuous. Otherwise, ahaituki apratihata also will break, right?
So we are not saying, yeah, you are right, that continuity is there in the level of intentions always. In terms of actions, in terms of capability or capacity to do, a sadhaka may not be always, but yet he is not kept outside the realm of pure devotional service, because in intentions he is continuous, and in his aspirations, in his abhilasha also he is continuous for pure devotional service. His aspect of doing it anudina is because of his lack of capability. It's only that. But his intentions are continuous.
Then he doesn't fall in the category of practitioner of a pure devotional service if it is not continuous, right? And it is said pure devotional service is very rare also.
Correct.
So then in such case he may not actually fall in the category of sadhaka, pure devotional sadhaka. He may still have to develop the faith, receive the mercy of devotees, develop that faith to actually come to the
So he has to
practice
associate so that he can come to the continuous level of action in terms of body.
Yeah, so that means
Right now
he
he
doesn't
has it
fall
in
as a
terms of
pure devotional
faith.
practitioner, right?
Yeah, in terms of faith, he has that practice, but he has that continuity. He has to associate and nourish his faith and rise above or whatever difficulties or distaste and all, and come to slowly to the level of body. But yet he is not kept outside the realm of pure devotional service because his intentions are still continuous. His faith is still continuous. Because in that very shloka, Smartavya Sadatam Vishnu, yes, it is a Adeshatmaka Vachana, Smartavyaha, that is one intention. But nonetheless, the next very 2 lines of it, it says that Sarve Vidhi Nishedasya Etayoreva Kinkara. all the vidhis are for fulfilling this. That one should remember, one should develop the remembrance. That's the second part. And there only he makes that comment immediately following it, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that this should not make a sadhaka lose hope, because he is not at the level of cheshta rupa anushilana, at the level of actions. He is aspiring for it. But nonetheless, he is also considered owing to his intentions and faith being continuous. It's just a consideration, and it doesn't leave away such a aspirant for pure devotional service outside the realm of pure devotional service. He's aspiring, he's trying, and with the nourishment of more stronger faith, he will come to even at the realm of body. And even at the realm of body, when he's doing activities like sleep, like caring for the body, it appears that he is breaking. Am I right? But because his intentions and faith are continuous, still he is to be considered as apratihata only. It's told that even there is one very interesting shloka from Vishnu Rahasya or somewhere. Even an activity like Malamutra Visarjana also, they are also part of devotional service. It's described there actually. So the point is, firstly, the faith is continuous. Faith is not. That means his aspirations and in his level of mind, he's practicing. He tries to. And slowly, by development of capability, he will come to the level of actions also always.
Prabhu, the word faith, as far as I understand, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defines and Prabhupada writes in purports, Krishna Bhakti Koile, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe, Sudruda Nischay, right? It is Sudruda Nischay, Krishna Bhakti Koile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy, right?
Yes.
So I feel faith, yeah, so that faith is a very deep, determination.
Okay, let me ask you a
Nischayata.
question, because this is a very big discussion. There was a 3-session seminar on it. Were you there?
I heard it many times, but I was actually not convinced about it, because I felt it is kind of diluting the message. So I had discussed the same subject with two very, those who are in Shastrik Council, ISKCON Shastrik Council devotees. I asked them the same question. They said, no, it is not true. They said it has to be continuous. And they said faith actually is determined by the upadhi which you are having. So if you are having a bodily upadhi, that means your faith is still not pure. To enter the practice of pure
bodily
devotional
upadhi,
service.
where is it being explained as bodily upadhi?
No. Yeah. This Narad Muni's definition is Sarva Upadhi Muktam.
Correct. With the question which you are asking, where is the upadhi coming?
Upadhi is coming if one thinks that if one is eating, suppose one is eating because I am hungry. Okay, but one is eating, I am a servant of Krishna, this body is Krishna's property. I have to serve Krishna. So in order to keep this property fit, I will eat. So here upadhi has come. In one context, he is thinking I am the body, upadhi, or for that matter, someone working outside of the occupational
So
duty.
there the intention is continuous, right? Means say suppose sleep, eating, sleeping. In sleep, he is not acting with his body.
That depends on the faith, na Prabhu.
So what is continuous? What is continuous? Faith is continuous.
Yeah, so if faith is continuous, means the upadhi it's like he is situated always ki I am servant of Krishna. He's in that consciousness.
That's right.
But the way it was explained, it appeared ki matlab theek hai, you whatever devotional activities you are doing and other times you are doing your occupational duties, it appeared that still it gave that kind of a sense. Understand?
I'm not saying that what is told in the seminar or this or that, but what I'm telling is the aspect of Shraddha. It has levels of Komala, Sudrida Shraddha, and Praudha Shraddha, the weakness, strength, all that. There is an aspect of it. Now in the beginning level of say Kanishtha Adhikari or Madhyam Adhikari, There, the aspect of development of Shraddha, that whole description of Shraddha is based on the understanding of Shastra. Am I
Right, right.
So he's how much he has understood, and sometimes he has understood, he is convinced, but he is not able to put it across to the other person to defend and to prove the point. That's Madhyama. And in Uttama, he is able to properly present it. That's all in the level of sadhaka only. So
Yeah, so
not just
Jiva Goswami mentions that this Pruda Shraddha is the requirement for starting the practice of pure devotional service in his Sandarbhas. That's what even those devotees had told me. He says that Pruda Shraddha, that is the eligibility. That is when full surrender will be there. In that state, one can start the practice of pure devotional service. Before that, he categorizes na Arop Siddha Bhakti and Sangha Siddha Bhakti and different
this description
categories.
of Madhyama Adhikari is not in Arupa or Sangha and all. It is there in the level of Uttama Bhakti only. Even among the Uttama Bhakti only, the Kanishta, Madhyama and Uttama are defined. I understand there is, after this whole description of Adhikaris, at the end, the Bhukti Mukti Spruha, there it's being talked about. There, a person who is completely, who is fully in the Prouda Shraddha stage, he is qualified. There, the last part of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that chapter, it talks about Bhukti Mukti Spruha. So what I am trying to put it across here is, yes, I am not telling that Apratihata is, followed at the level of body. But at the same time, even Apratihata level at the level of mind, that is on the faith. So Prabhupada tells the faith as conceptions in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the faith as rules and regulations when he's telling in the, what is that, Shraddha, the Bija. The Bija is Shraddha, there Prabhupada describes that. The specific set of practices also he says that. And at the same time, Shraddha is always is getting nourished and fostered more and more and more. So the description of Satatam as Anudina told by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is a specific insight to encourage sadhakas. I would say those who are not at the level of body to follow it always, to encourage them to come to that. Just like in that description of, there are many clauses taken, ita, is it not? Anya Abhilasha ita, all those different considerations are described. Like that only, Anu is also described, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur brings this commentary. Anyway, we can go on discussing another time. But point is, I just wanted to say that this is a very encouraging explanation. A devotee should take hope from it and then continue. Then the explanations like this, which give hope, should make a devotee become more responsible and try to put his application more sincere and come to that level. We can go on discussing about the technicalities, but the point is, devotee should be encouraged to practice at the end of the day, at the end of our whole discussion. So our acharyas bring that kind of explanations. So that's what I was trying to say it out there. We can, technical differences, we can maybe sit and discuss. I'll also like to learn. I have not read Sandarbhas very detailedly. I read bits and pieces here and there. I read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu following Bhanu Maharaj's commentary and things like that. So whatever I understood, I tried to share it here. Okay?
Yeah, okay, Prabhu. Okay.
Thank you. Maybe we can meet and then discuss, not a problem.
Yeah, sure.
Any other comment or question? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, actually, first question I have not submitted to you because of Rathayatra and regarding all these things. Can we upload both the question first and second, Prabhuji, at a time?
Speak to Lila Madhuri Prabhu and make that. Huh?
Yeah.
But Rathayatra completed long back, na Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhuji, that time I didn't remember still because the schedule was like that, Prabhuji.
Don't make such excuses ahead. Huh? We did give a long extension also.
Yeah, Prabhuji, but I didn't remember.
Now do it soon, don't delay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Maybe Lila Madhuri Prabhu, you can discuss with Karunamurti Prabhu. I have conveyed this, that I have completed the classes. he will plan for the test. Okay?
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. I will discuss with him.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.